We can dance to ourselves and get up again. What's beautiful today, though, is that we are not alone. We are joined by Tsulu's buddy.
Yes. It's wonderful to be here. My name is Ashley Staplefeld, specialize in opera voice. And yeah, that's me.
I think just from that perspective, Ashley, if you can encourage people that are still either going through the pain or the fear or the confusion of where the world found itself.
Trust that the universe is always listening. It's always on your side. Tell it what you need. That was something that my mom taught me.
Physical fitness is part of the beauty of liberty in the person's being or in the person's body.
Art, cooking, gardening, exercise, meditation, and music are accessible to most.
I don't want to feel guilty that I don't exercise. So the minute I feel like it's a guilt thing, I sit down and I
Love who you are.
Yeah.
Receive who you are. Yes, little by little, it's okay, but don't do the wrong things to that body. The role of being beautiful as a woman. Does it really matter to us that much?
But I do believe that being beautiful, it does matter to us. It shouldn't define us, but it does matter.
Because beauty doesn't really come from makeup.
Yeah.
Beauty comes
From inside, yeah.
Beauty comes from what you tell yourself.
Yeah. That whether I am dark-skinned or I am light-skinned, I still am a beautiful woman.
How do you know that you have healed?
I knew I was healed when I stopped feeling a kind of pain of betrayal, that I had let that go.
You are no longer angry, you must know that you have healed. When you are no longer bitter about it, you must know that healing has happened. Let's all heal. It is possible to be healed, and there is nothing as liberating as being healed. Good evening. It's a beautiful Thursday. It's Cindy Siwe at Fit. Very fit. We are fit on season 2. What I'm doing today is basically wrapping up on season 2 and what we have been speaking about. I do hope that you were challenged. I do hope that you were encouraged. I do hope that you did learn something from the seasons. The season was just about emotional, not just emotional, but just complete wellness. We touched on emotional well-being. We dealt a lot, I think, in terms of just what happens to us because we are emotional beings. And because we do have emotions, it means we sense, it means we see, it means we can therefore, and we ought to use those emotions to be able to relate to our environment and the people that are around us. But there is danger as well in terms of emotions when they are not dealt with in a proper way. So when we are hurting and we don't express the hurt, or when we're excited but we don't know how to express that excitement, there is a problem as well there. So we really just touched on emotions, and I really want to believe that in all of the topics that we covered, while there could have been different headlines or headings or themes that we were focusing on, they all really just converge towards emotions. because human beings are made of emotions. I learned very late in my life that there is what we call trapped emotions. When emotions are trapped and they are negative, they will grow up with you, which means if you are young and you are, they will just grow up with you. And at some particular point, they will begin to express themselves. So what are we to do, therefore? We're to make sure that emotions are released as they come. If you're excited, show the excitement. If you are not happy with how someone is treating you, tell that person so that that treatment is not a problem that will be left with you, and now it begins to spiral to other things or to other areas of your life.
We can dust ourselves and get up again. What's beautiful today, though, is that we are not alone. We are joined by Tsulu's buddy.
Yes.
I think it's only you can introduce her.
Today we're joined by Ashley Staplefeld, who is my sister from another mister. We went to Howard College together, then she left me and she went to UCT. She did her Bachelor of Music at UCT, specializing in opera. And she has the biggest voice in the world.
Wow.
And she has makeup, but more than that, she has her own voice coaching company.
Oh, wow.
Coolest thing that started last year, and she's going to tell us
I'm
more
a student.
about that and more about herself. So Ashley, thank you for coming. Please tell us more about yourself and what you've been busy with for the past year and all of that. I know you. They need an intro of who you are.
So hi everyone, thank you so much for having me today. When Zulu told me that you guys wanted to have me on the chat, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so wonderful. So thank you very, very much for having me. It's wonderful to be here. My name is Ashley Staplefeld. How old am I now? 26. I grew up in Durban. I live in Durban at the moment. As Zulu said, we studied together. We both did music, and then I did a transfer to UCT, where I graduated last year. I specialize in opera voice. And yeah, that's me. And last year I was doing my postgraduate studies, and it was slightly difficult because of COVID and because everything was, my entire program, my postgraduate studies was practical, and so it was very, very difficult with COVID. And so I started teaching online. I started teaching singing online. And how that happened was I had done an interview on Afternoon Express last year, February, I think. Yes, I went there to sing. It was amazing. It was my first time on TV. Very, very exciting. And so they interviewed me and I sang. And I think a month later, I posted a video of me singing from the show. And someone asked me about singing lessons. And so I said, yes, I'd never given a singing lesson before. But, you know, sometimes the universe just throws you things, and you know, and the thing is it had been something that I wanted to do, but I just didn't know how to get, like, I know at the beginning of last year I was like, I want to get into teaching, maybe at a school or something, and it just never really happened. And then someone messaged me and said, do you give singing lessons? And I was like, yes, I do. No, it didn't. The thing is, it was something that I was qualified for. It wasn't like something outside of my field of expertise. And so I jumped and the net appeared. And so I started getting more inquiries about singing lessons. And I think in about May last year, someone reached out to me he was in New York, and he said, hi, I saw a video of you singing. Do you offer singing lessons still? And I said, yes. And then his girlfriend started lessons, then her best friend started lessons. So now I have all these amazing students in the States. I've got students in different parts of South Africa as well, a student in Germany, a student in Namibia. So it's been wonderful. It's been wonderful. So yeah, sorry, that was very long. You guys have to tell me, like, girl, you have to cut it, stop talking. So yeah, that's basically me. Yeah, and my business.
Beautiful.
Wow, that's lovely.
Amazing. So proud of you, first of all.
Thank you.
Mom?
Yeah, I think for me, I have an issue here. It's a kind of personal because I've been telling Sulu that I'm looking for a voice coach, and she's never mentioned. I mean, you have. So already I am a student because I just love singing. I love singing, but I think what becomes very interesting for me is that you do mention that you started this online and you recorded that one piece, and you do this because you are in solitary confinement. You're all by yourself because we're all meant to be by ourselves. I think just from that perspective, Ashley, if you can encourage people that are still either going through the pain or the fear or the confusion of where the world found itself, that what is it that you can tell them, that can encourage them, that besides or despite what we all have gone through, there still is a lot of light at the end of the tunnel.
I think for me it's a constant ongoing thing of finding that light at the end of the tunnel, but it is there. I think one of the things for me, I know people say this a lot, they say trust the process. That is so, people who are older than me would always say trust the process, trust the timing of your life. And I think that I'm only starting to understand that now, especially because I'm someone who I like to hold on to things and I like to be in control of my life and the way things are. And I think that if anything, last year taught us, or it's still teaching us, that we actually don't control much at all. It's difficult. It is so difficult. And I think the one thing for me is trusting the process, trust the process, and trust that the universe is always listening. It's always on your side. Tell it what you need. That was something that my mom taught me, and something that has helped me so much, because I never really thought that so many of the things I do now were achievable. I started praying. I started talking to you and say, listen, God, I need this. I need direction here. I need direction there. And it's done something big for me. And so I would say, pray about it, journal about it. Sometimes we aren't able to see things that are in front of us or things that are around us because there's so much happening in our heads and in our hearts, and sometimes you need a release. So write about it, sing about it, do what you can to get your mind to have a sort of release. And I think that singing is that for me. Outside of journaling, I have singing. I think Zulu knows this as well. I think it's a thing for both of us. It's sort of a release to clear your mind, and so that you're able to see things in front of you, and so that you're able to sort of see the light, like you said, see the light. Yeah, so yeah.
We also spoke about the importance of lending a hand to people around us that are not physically okay. But within that same physical wellness, we also covered the issue of us having to take care of our bodies physically. Life is very progressive. And because life is progressive, so are our bodies. In other words, we've got to exercise. We do have to exercise. It doesn't matter how much we can lie to ourselves. I mean, I am generally not a big woman, and I've hidden behind this being tiny, that I don't really need to exercise. Every aspect of our bodies, those muscles do need to be stretched so that they can be relaxed. So we spoke about that. Physical fitness is really important to us so that we are kept healthy and well. We're back on another beautiful and yet very ignored by many of us. So some people think that I'm guilty, and I'm going to shock them. I'm going to shock them. And that is the physical part of wellness. The physical part of wellness. Is it possible that physically we can
find ourselves in cages in life where we cannot be a part of life that is fulfilling us, and that us being contributors to that life. So physical fitness really does not mean only going to the gym, but I think I'm looking at physical fitness or the illness thereof of our physical being, from levels of either sickness where you are incapacitated through your body to become a full partaker of life. But because there is a perception amongst us in this group that I am a victim of physical unfitness,
It's a nice way to put it.
I would love for my team here, you know, to comment on physical fitness and how they believe that it is critical to bringing stability and completeness of being, but from a physical point of view.
I think I'd like to go first. So here's one thing we need to iron out first. Before we say like people have that mentality of when you say you're physically fit, you're talking about I'm always at the gym. In the morning, gym. After work, if I work, or after school, if I'm at school, gym. It's not only about that, it's also about what you eat, what you feed your body. If you're going to feed your body sweets all the time, but still go to the gym, what are you really doing? What are you really doing, you know? So, yeah, I do feel like being physically fit is very, very important because it does also contribute to how you feel emotionally. Yeah, it does contribute because if you are not, I'm going to make an example, if you're not fit, like physically, and you wake up in the morning, you cannot have a fruitful, productive day because you're going to feel like, I'm so tired, I'm so sluggish. So when it's time to get things done, I'm going to open the laptop, you open one tab, and you just feel like, man, I'm so tired, I just need a snack. You're going to feel like, okay, I need to go to the shops and just buy a few things for the house. Guys, I'm so lazy because you're not physically fit. So I strongly believe that you need to be physically fit to also stabilize everything else that goes on in your life. So yeah.
Interesting. Not the sugar. The sugar just brings the adrenaline, but it kills certain aspects. Yeah.
I think for me as well, just to kind of like take from what Nobuhle said as well about it being, it contributing to your emotional well-being in a lot of ways. Number one, there's also, again, just taking off what she said, there's not a single picture of what a physically fit person should be. Some of us, look, I definitely inherited my body. So, like, I've been riding that wave, and I do very little to stay the way I am. But it doesn't mean a person who's twice my size is not physically fit. They can be physically fit for themselves. So it doesn't have one standard picture of what physically fit is. But again, touching, especially on the emotional part, there's a little fun fact that I got here from this Instagram page called Philosophy of Leisure. And they say here, art, cooking, gardening, exercise, meditation, and music are accessible to most and can be among the analog solutions to balance technology exhaustion and brain fatigue. And for me, that's what I use exercise for. Even sometimes when I don't feel like it, like after work, Nobuhle knows, it's always like, yo, let's get in gym shorts, let's go for a run, let's do something. And by the end of that, all the exhaustion I'd been feeling throughout the day, it's just a way of me winding down my day. So in as much as we use fitness to, improve our own bodies, it does play a major role for me mentally. And that's what I personally use fitness for.
Wow. I think just for me, love who you are.
Yeah.
Receive who you are. Yes, little by little, it's okay, but don't do the wrong things to that body.
Yeah.
Because we are commanded for it to prosper. So as our spirit man prospers, let that body prosper.
Preach it, girl.
Yes, eat well. Do it. Do it. Do it. But do it for you.
Yes.
Do it for understanding that you're doing it for you, because it completes you, because it makes you fit, it makes you feel like you've got it all together. And there's areas where you can sleep peacefully because you know you've done it, not out of duress.
Yeah.
Not because somebody says, you've got to be size 32. Come on, you come with that with me. I'm going to come with the shambo. Love yourself. Look after that temple. Look after that body. There's nothing wrong with it until you tell yourself that there's something wrong with it.
We also did touch on the whole issue of physical beauty. By the way, beauty has got nothing to do with gender. The other day I went to do my nails and I found the person that was doing nails before me, a man. So he was doing a very nice mani and pedi. They do it. Beauty is important because not only does it make us feel great about ourselves, but I just learned that it also releases some endorphins, and those endorphins are critical in us being able to deal with stress in our lives, in the space that we have been in, and hence the focus of the season, which was really just on wellness. Today we're having something very interesting, very interesting. The role of beauty in our lockdown. And we have someone who is a specialist in making us beautiful. Guys, let's welcome Nobuhle. Yay!
Hello guys!
Hi.
So beautiful!
Yes, we wonder who made it.
Hey! Hello everyone! Hello everyone at home! Hello viewers! It is I.
A beautician.
Beauty enthusiast.
Talking about just the role of being beautiful as a woman. Does it really matter to us that much? Let's hear you, ladies.
I personally, first of all, hi, I'm Sulu, and I'm here to talk about stuff again. I personally think it matters to me. First of all, I'm a very beautiful woman.
Oh, wow. Yes, queen.
Myself,
Yes,
right?
yes.
But looking beautiful, putting on makeup, putting on like my favorite fit, going out, it actually does something psychologically.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's a proven fact or not, but it does make me, once you put on makeup and you put your favorite outfit and you go out there, whether you have a meeting, whether you have a rehearsal, for me in my case, it does make you feel a lot more productive and a lot more confident.
Yeah.
It's not to say that the confidence is not there when I'm
Yes.
in my pajamas and like eat and I'm ready to go to sleep. But there is something about like putting yourself up together and making sure it's okay.
Grand.
Okay, you know how people would joke around and tell you, you don't look pretty today, or you don't, like, it does get to me sometimes. Like, I find myself grumpy, moody, just because someone jokingly said, "Oh, you're not cute today." Even though I know, like me now, when I wake up, listen,
I woke up like this.
when I wake up and I go to the mirror, I'm just there like, "Ndimhle, ndimhle." But
Yeah.
if someone is gonna come to you and say, "Yes, it's today," I don't understand. You look tired. I'm just there like, "Oh, okay. Okay, maybe I should bath again. Maybe I should just throw one eyebrow. Maybe I will, So beauty it doesn't literally mean when you have makeup on and whatnot, you're
Beautiful.
beautiful. But like just knowing you would see, guys, fresh skin, fresh whatnot, because beauty doesn't really come from makeup.
Yeah.
Beauty comes
From
within.
inside. Yeah.
Beauty comes from what you tell yourself.
Yeah.
So really beauty does have like an impact on us and as women, with or without makeup. With or without makeup.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, funny thing is, a lot of us and a lot of people associate beauty with being made up and glamorous.
Yeah.
There's such a huge difference between glamour and beauty. And when I think I was in standard 9 or something, my mother sent me to a makeup school so I could learn to do my own makeup.
Okay.
She sent me to a modeling school so I could learn how to walk.
In a high heel. Hectic.
Yes,
So you were groomed.
I was groomed, and
Wow.
I felt privileged because I mean, my sister was right there, but she didn't. She was doing karate. I was on some, and then she joined me later. I learned it. I knew how to do it. As a result, I have a full makeup bag. My makeup bag is always full. I always know what I need. But I don't necessarily always wear makeup. Because I made a choice even then that makeup was never going to define my beauty.
Yeah.
I had to accept the way I look. There's a lot of things that will fight me in the world, but it's never going to be how I think I look.
Yeah.
So, and that for me is very important. I try to put that same thought into my girls' minds to say you are beautiful. Until such time that I received how beautiful I was, I really just battled with self-confidence.
Yeah.
Now, if we're gonna do the show without makeup, I will come.
You're ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Because I really just believe what God gave me must be beautiful.
Yeah. No, it's a very interesting topic. It's so interesting to the point that, this that I just made, I mean, it's just an example of saying I could take it off at any given point in time, irrespective of the fact that I'm in front of a camera. What I do know is that it's a changed perspective of how I looked while I had it on. But in the true sense of the word, the beauty that I know I have is a beauty that comes from the inside. So we love it as girls because it just peps us, it adds a vroom. And when the vroom is up, we feel that now, we are happening. But beauty is beyond what we see. And having said that, though, it's not lekker, it's not smart as a woman not to spoil yourself once in a while. Get that wig if it means anything to you. Get the dreadlocks if they mean anything to you. Because ultimately, it is what you feel. That is what others are going to receive out of you. So if we can tell you that we are beautiful, but you are not believing that we are beautiful, we will just be wasting time because you will not receive feedback that is incongruent with how you feel. When we speak about beauty, we must not lie and say it does not have a positive aspect to how we are receiving ourselves, because ultimately life is about
how well I am feeling about me, how good I am feeling about myself, because the feeling that I have about myself is what will give me the energy to be able to relate to other people in a proper way. So what have we been saying? We are encouraging you. You've got to take care of that one you. There never will be another you in another lifetime. So the you that you have, you've got to look after it, look beautiful if it means looking beautiful. But more than that, feeling beautiful from inside is very important, because we don't give people what they see, we give people what they receive. So it is not what really, it's not only just the beauty that is outside that becomes important or that transcends to the next person, but it is also what is coming from inside. So beauty is beautiful on the outside, but in the show, I think we did emphasize the importance of you feeling okay and receiving yourself from within you, so that you are able to deal with you in the midst or in the context of other people. Then our last episode touched on healing overall. Healing, how do you know when you are healed? How do you know when you've gone through different hurts? I do know that we focused primarily on divorce, but divorce is just one aspect that can make a person not to be well. There are different aspects. A human being is very holistic. Other people are in pain because they have no one who is saying, can you be my partner? Other people are in pain because nobody asked them for directions, for an example. Other people are in pain because they've lost their dear ones. So when it comes to healing, how would you know that you are healed? It's a generic, it's a very, very important aspect of the topic that the season that we were covering. How would you know when we are healed? How do you know that you have healed? Many people, while they are still wounded, they find a jack and a shoulder of Jack to cry on. Yeah. And then they thinking, how now I'm healed. I just want us to say, let's chat about how did I'll share about how I knew that I'm healed.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about that.
Yeah. So I think I knew I was healed when I stopped feeling a kind of pain of betrayal, that I had let that go.
Okay.
I spoke earlier about the different facets of layers of pain, that because you go through the pain of shame, then you must deal with shame.
Yeah.
And say, okay, so now I'm not feeling ashamed by my condition.
Yeah.
And then the betrayal. You know, I can't even look at you because you betrayed me.
Yeah.
I feel some kind of way when I see you.
Yeah.
And you,
yeah.
you know,
yeah.
and then when I look at you, that betrayal thing, I've no longer associated it with you. Then I knew that, okay, so then I've healed from the pain of betrayal. Then there is the children. You know, because then it becomes, you know, that is it gonna be a contest about
which parent,
you know. I've always been pro your father's your father, you keep him. You know, even if I move on, I'm not going to get you a father. You've got one. You know, I've always, and we can co-parent together. I mean, we call each other, chat, come help with this, do that. And I think for me, what closed it was when I could have a meeting with his wife.
Yeah.
And look at her and not feel betrayed by her or by what they may have done, you know, when I was still in the marriage. But just a piece about me that said, they are people. We all have journeys.
Yeah, they chose.
You know, they chose what they chose. They have to live with their choices. How the choice affected me, I must focus on healing from how it affected me. And I did heal from how it affected me. I think so I do have I'm very peaceful about it. You know, I could go to fetch my keys from my in-laws. You know,
Your
ex-in-laws, yes, Lord Jesus. I could go, and when I got there was no hard feelings, and I really was just feeling free. Free from, because the freedom that I want to get to is the freedom from the oppression of pain.
Yes.
Because yes, I am still married, but I'm oppressed by pain because of what's going on here. And then I'm out, then I'm oppressed by the pain of being out. And then they're now feeling free from that pain, and this pain is for me a place of being healed.
Yeah. That's great. I think for me, the healing is when that anger just disappears and you're thinking, it happened, thank God you protected me. So when you are no longer angry, you must know that you have healed. When you are no longer bitter about it, you must know that healing has happened. The issue on the kids that we don't verbally or outspokenly want to be honest about it is that it is practically not possible to go through a divorce, you that has been left and you that has been betrayed, to not desire. There is a hidden desire that wants for you to tell the kids that I am here because of your father. Am I honest? It's there. You know, and the day I got healed, it was when I decided that I will never speak ill of my son's father in his presence. I will not even ask him about, so what do you do when you, I'm not gonna, but they call it snitching and snooping around. I will not, because to him, he is still his father. So I do want to say that, Bo Mama, do not make the fight, even the healing of the children, even much more difficult by you wanting to gain scores. That I am here because of your father. No matter how much he could have done what he did, I knew the day I was not interested to speaking about it, that okay, Cindy is actually just healed. How do you also know that you have healed? It is when you begin to be very optimistic about life. When you begin to say, I can marry again. For young girls like Andile, definitely they can marry again. Please don't talk to me about it. I have better things to worry about and to contend with than having to contend with another 50-something-year-old. Hey, I'm shy of Helen. But we love marriage, we support marriage, and I would love to see Andile walking down that aisle, because this time around she would be walking in such truth, in such wisdom, and I know that she would not go to no pastor she doesn't know. I'll be the one, and when I seal it, it shall be sealed for life, because I will not be trying to make her happy. We will get into the truth and say, are you not entering into another jungle? Hallelujah. Make sure. Don't throw your anger on people. Maybe this is just because you have not healed. But what are we saying? was saying that even the children, when they begin to see that you can be civil with each other, they also progress towards healing. Let's all heal. It is possible to be healed. And there is nothing as liberating as being healed after this mess. I hope you are going to take a position of saying, eyami lempilo, kwahlalwa phansi ngempilo yami, and I am going to take this and learn the good out of it and discover myself and be ready to recommit, knowing very well what I'm committing myself into. You know, healing can be hidden at times. Healing does not have to be where a wound is a physical wound. There are emotional wounds that are hidden. And in those emotional wounds, we are saying, do not ignore them, because healing is critical. So how do you know? When you are optimistic in life, then you know that you are out of the dungeon of pain. When pain is there, when hurt is there, when disappointment is dominant, the person has a tendency, or we have a tendency of looking at life in a very pessimistic way. You know, you are almost like always looking at the back of you, saying, maybe this one is going to hurt me, maybe what if. But when you get to a point where you know that you are healed, it is when there is no pessimism around you. It is when you begin to look at each day positively, knowing and receiving that the atmosphere around you carries life. Even you being able to declare life on a day over yourself is a sign that you are healed. So it is important that we look at ourselves before we can go outside and begin to blame people. Human beings are hidden beings, and what we see, which is our bodies or the physique of our being, is really not who we are. Who we are is what is hidden inside. And that which is hidden inside has got to be looked after so that it gives you life, and life in abundance, because life is what we are given. And the Word of God is very clear that we are given that life in abundance. So I do hope that you become selfish. It is important to be selfish in a positive way, where you are saying to yourself, I think it is time that I go inside so that I can have the power from within to be able to deal with my external environment. Right now, this season, as I wrap it up, we are in the most critical era. We're in the most critical times, and these times are critical because there is a lot of information that is coming. The information is coming from outside. If the inside is very weak, the information and what is going on around us has the potential to be very toxic and hurt us and make life to be very, almost like not worth living, and yet life has been given. It is a gift from God. I want you to remain blessed. I want you to take care of yourselves. There is no one that's going to take care of you. You know, when you are older, and only then you realize that the responsibility to take care of oneself literally just remains with you, which means it remains with myself to look after myself. It remains with you as well. I hope you are going to take care of yourself. Go back and enjoy some of the episodes. I loved all of them because they all had something to do with my personal life as well. And it was great. One of them was stress, and I thought to myself, shucks, you know what? You can look at the wrong thing, and yet the thing that you need to be looking at is how you are feeling and why you are feeling the way you are feeling. I hope to see you next time. And as for the next season, I'm going to come back. I don't know when, but I think it's time for rest. Everyone deserves a rest, and that includes us as well. Stay blessed. Stay connected to your Maker. Stay connected to the mantle that is sitting on you. Stay connected to purpose and live life to its fullest. There's joy out there. It's not out there, sorry. There's joy inside you. When you are joyful inside, then the environment around you will be able to pick it up. It will be able to pick up those emotions that you are in a joyful state. Thank you for having taken your time, your money as well, as you logged on or tuned in to watch the show. It's been a pleasure for me to be not only just by myself, but to also be with Andile, Natsulofelo, that have been key throughout the show. Stay blessed and know that God is still supreme over your life. Thank you.